Understanding the difference between a fact and an opinion isn't difficult. What matters is being able to apply that knowledge responsibly. When someone presents information in the form of a fact, like, the blue whale is the largest animal on Earth, they are stating something that can be proven with evidence. That's different from an opinion, like, blue whales are the most beautiful whales. Here, they are sharing a personal belief that can't be proven. Think about it this way. The factual statement here is about size, which can be measured and agreed upon. The opinion is about beauty, which cannot be measured and is up to the individual. Being able to tell the difference can help you be more influential and trustworthy. Here's what I mean. Imagine you're a student who must complete a paper about the science of whales. In researching the subject, you find a mix of facts and opinions. For example, in a magazine article, a scientist says, "Whale research needs more funding," and it seems relevant. But then you notice that it's based on a personal belief, which means it's an opinion. Then, on a trustworthy website, you find the statement, "Funding for blue whale research increased by 10% last year." This is a statement of fact that can give your paper more integrity. It's important to remember that a statement of fact can still be true or false. The person who made the statement may be confused or misleading. That's why it's a good idea to verify facts using multiple credible sources. In another example, you're watching a TV show with two guests who disagree. During the debate, they make a number of statements that seem credible. One of the guests mainly shares opinions like, "I think Joe is the best player." The other guest chooses to share factual statements like, "Mike is currently ranked #1 in the world." By thinking through the difference between fact and opinion, you can see which guest may be presenting a stronger argument. Or, imagine a journalist who is working on a big news story. She interviews a number of people and over time documents both facts and opinions from her sources. While her article might contain quotes that relate opinions, the accuracy and integrity of her article depends on documenting the facts of the situation. To be sure, she researches the factual statements to make sure they are true. As you can see, knowing the difference between facts and opinions is only part of the challenge. The real task is analyzing communication and understanding what represents information that can be trusted and why.
In the past, doing something embarrassing wasn't a big deal. It happened, and then people moved on. But now that things can be shared on the web immediately, those embarrassing moments can last forever and impact your reputation and those of your friends. Let's talk about what happens on the web. Search engines are constantly scanning it. Their goal is to take a snapshot of every word, picture, and video on the web and save it for search results. This means that once a page has been scanned, it may be there forever. Even if the image is deleted from a site, it may still be found in the future, which is when problems can occur. Think about it this way. If you share videos of yourself or others doing illegal things, or photos that make people look bad, it could seriously harm their reputations. And sometimes it's hard to tell. What seems like a funny photo today, yay, may look very different to someone who finds it in the future. Boo! By understanding a few things now, you can help avoid problems later. It starts with what you choose to put on websites. Sharing on the web can be fun and productive, but it could also cause problems. So it's up to you to think about the people in the photo or story, including yourself, before you share it. Would you want your grandfather to see this photo? Or a future boss? Once you click, you lose control of who can see the photo on the web. And no one wants to lose control. This means your friends have to depend on you to take responsibility for the images, stories, and videos you share on the web. Luckily, you don't have to share everything publicly. Find ways to share your life privately without having it scanned by search engines. And be careful using people's names. Names are easy for search engines to scan. Another step is asking your friends to think about what they share on the web. Let them know that from now on, you're going to take responsibility. Talk about the risks and what impact photos could have in the future. Agree to think before you click. This way, You can act goofy today and still have the respect you deserve tomorrow. Of course, you can't control everything on the web. If you feel a photo, story, or video could put your reputation at risk, you can take action. Contact the person who posted it and ask them to remove it. Taking action today can make it harder to find in the future. So the point is, sharing your life online can be fun and productive, but it can also mean losing control. You have a responsibility to help protect your reputation and the reputations of those around you. Think before you click.
Imagine a small village called Fernville that has residents, a government, and a newspaper. For generations, the newspaper was a trusted source of information with both good news and bad. At the edge of town, a river separates Fernville from Treetown, the next town over. Fernville residents wanted a bridge over the river, while Treetown residents were against it. The bridge became a subject of debate, and a decision needed to be made about building it. Normally, this kind of decision would be based on a shared understanding of the facts, like construction costs and timelines that were published in the paper. The facts gave everyone a foundation for forming their own opinions about the bridge. In the past, issues between towns were settled between town leaders in public meetings. This time, however, a few government leaders of Treetown who were against the bridge took a different approach. Instead of meetings and diplomacy, they decided to fool Fernville residents into rejecting the bridge. They created and distributed official-looking articles, documents, and advertisements that all had the same message. The bridge will cost 3 times what the estimates say. Leaders in Treetown repeated the same message in interviews and meetings. This information became widely shared in Fernville because it was surprising and provocative. But in reality, the messages were lies and exaggerations about the bridge's cost. This fooled Fernville residents, who trusted this new information like articles in their newspaper. It seemed so real to them. Soon, the citizens of Fernville decided against the bridge, and Treetown residents celebrated. They successfully manipulated Fernville into rejecting the bridge by spreading false information. This is called a disinformation campaign. Disinformation is false information that is published and shared with the goal to deceive people and cause them to support a particular person, issue, or organization that they may not otherwise support. The problem is that disinformation is based on lies and manipulation of facts. It causes people to lose trust in newspapers who report the information needed to make sound decisions. As in the bridge example, it can mean one town or country can unfairly control another and cause them to vote against their own interests. Today, disinformation is growing and becoming more difficult to detect. To avoid spreading it, use information from trustworthy sources like respected newspapers, journals, and well-known journalists. If the information seems misleading, research the writer and publisher and look for bias. Be skeptical of messages that seem exaggerated or provocative. By learning to detect and avoid disinformation, we can prevent others from unfairly manipulating our opinions and help facts and trusted information rise to the surface.